Peak Design 20-liter everyday backpack in black on black. I've wanted this bag forever and I finally bought it and I have a lot of thoughts on it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over this bag top to bottom with you guys, and then I'm gonna tell you what I like and dislike about this bag. I got a lot to say about this one, so buckle up for a long one. You guys ready? Let's get to it. So the first thing I noticed about this bag when I first got it was how beautiful it is. It's just a really good looking bag in my opinion. It doesn't have that climber, hiking, I'm going camping and I need to carry tents and wolf pelts and every other thing. It's got a real sleek and minimal design to it, and I really like that about this bag. The next thing you'll notice is there's not a whole hell of a lot going on the outside of this bag. There's not a lot of straps or anything. There's a couple zippers and some handles. The straps actually magnetize to the back of the bag to keep it nice and tidy looking. There's not a lot of like bells and whistles on the outside of it, so to speak. So the next thing you might notice is this little maglatch guy up front. So you pull out and down and it releases, and then you have like tiers as the top of the bag fills up where you can still close it even if this is all the way full. I thought this was an ingenious design by Peak Design. Another thing I like is this pass-through here. So if you have luggage or a roller bag, you can kind of put the bag down on top of it like you see those cool businessmen at the airport doing. Another thing you might notice is these outside tripod water bottle sleeves. They're actually elastic. There's like a little elastic band around the back. I can just like jam the Joby tripod down in there and it doesn't go anywhere. I don't have to use the external straps that they include in these. If you had a larger tripod that you didn't want wobbling around in this thing, you could go around it with this and clip it to this little loop. These loops can be found anywhere on the entire bag. So there's one up here, there's one in that pocket, there's more underneath this little magnet pocket under there, there's more back here, and there's probably other ones that I haven't found yet. Peak Design has a way of including more features than you're even gonna be able to find at first. Like there's a pretty steep learning curve with this bag, especially with the origami dividers inside, but we'll get to that later. Another thing that can be found on this side only is this little quick release system that Peak Design has made famous. It's the little coin looking thing that releases real easily. I guess this is for like your keys. Obviously, another removable strap on the other side in the water bottle. There's a loop down in there. There's also a laptop compartment up top that can fit a full-size laptop in it, and there's a couple extra pockets in there. I don't really know what they're for. They're a little bit more shallow. I kind of wish that if you have a bag that has this steep of a learning curve, that it came with like an instruction manual or something. I'm not that dumb when it comes to technology, and I had trouble figuring out origami dividers, like how I wanted them orientated. And the other thing that I had trouble figuring out was I had no idea that this thing came with removable straps until I reached down in there and found them, and I actually had to look a video up to find the ones that were down in here. So it'd be nice to have like a little booklet in here that tells you like, hey, this is where this is where this is, that's what that does, and you know, you're good to go. The other thing you might notice are the straps have these little rivets on them that allow them to pivot on that axis. So if you're a little bit wider of a person, there will be no trouble there. They also have magnets in the straps that hold them in place to the bag. My bag actually has a defect because this one doesn't magnetize to the side unless I grab it and pull it up and press it down onto the bag. This one goes right to the bag no matter what. I know that's nitpicky or whatever, but it's just something to think about. I also tried to like jimmy the magnet down to where it needed to be, and it wouldn't work because it's in there so tight. So I didn't want to end up like damaging the bag somehow with my fingernail. It's just something I'm gonna have to deal with this bag. Another feature on the outside, and the last feature that I'm gonna go over, is this little sternum strap here. I actually really like this design. I don't normally like removable straps, but this one stays in so tight that it's like, I kind of can't complain about it. What's really nice about this is this little loop. You can just pull this off with one hand and attach it on the other side, and you can install the sternum strap one-handed pretty easily. It's a really beautifully designed bag. It's rugged feeling. It feels like it'll last a very long time. Zippers feel super premium. The outer shell feels super premium. Everything about this bag feels premium. The straps are super comfortable. I carried this bag all day at the beach the other day, and I had the sternum strap on and off. Never got uncomfortable once. One of the gripes I have with this bag, while we're on the outer portion of it, when I first got it, it stood up on its own, but now for some reason, it falls over. It's actually one of my pet peeves if I can't put a bag down and have it just stand up on its own. Other than that, I don't really have anything bad to say about the outer. My gripe comes from the side access and the inner portion of this bag. And I want you guys to understand that I really like this bag. I just don't think that it's a good camera bag. I think that it's a good commuter's bag or a good student's bag, but what I wanted it for was to carry all my camera gear, and I don't think that this form factor is good for me to work efficiently and easily. The side access is more of a hassle, in my opinion, than it's worth. It's way easier for me to just put my bag down flat and open the whole thing up and be able to see all my gear at once, get to everything whenever I want to, than it is for me to have the convenience of being able to flip the bag around like a sling and open the side of it. Because that's really only convenient for one thing, which is opening the side of it and pulling your camera out quickly. The side access doesn't lend itself well to changing lenses, first of all, and second of all, changing accessories around. Like, you always have to put the bag down anyway, so just give me access to the whole thing. Now, I don't want to badmouth Peak Design, but the thing that annoys me is that it's marketed as a camera bag. I know it's called the Everyday Backpack, but if you go on their website and look, all the loadouts that they suggest, or at least a good portion of them, are all camera loadouts. So there's like 5 lenses in there and a couple camera bodies, and yeah, you could carry all that stuff in here, but the origami dividers are not a good design for a lot of fragile items like lenses, in my opinion. Every time I put my camera body and a lens in there, if I move a certain way, I can feel the camera body kind of shaking around in there, or the lenses kind of shaking around in there. Granted, there's padding around them on all sides, but I like when my gear is held tight in wherever it is. Maybe I'm just plain old picky, but I really don't like the origami dividers now that I've sat down and messed with them for a couple days. So anyway, on the whole, and as I said, I really like this bag. I like the outer. I think it's an amazingly well-designed bag. It's super premium. It would be awesome for a student, a commuter, even somebody who travels often. This would be a great travel bag for your clothing and maybe a couple cameras, or a camera and a lens. But if you're planning on filling this thing to the brim with camera gear like I was, you may be disappointed in it. You could be a cameraman or a filmmaker, photographer, whatever you want to call it, and fill this thing to the brim with camera gear and absolutely love this form factor. I could be totally wrong. It might just be me that doesn't like side access and doesn't like how these origami dividers don't hold on to your gear the way a normal camera cube would. So if you like your gear staying exactly where you leave it in your bag, and there being no wasted space in your camera cube or whatever current bag you're using like I do, this might not be the bag for you. I really enjoyed doing this episode. I've wanted this bag forever, and I like it in a lot of ways. Even all the bad stuff that I said about it, it's really not that big of a deal that the lenses don't stay in place or anything. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Sam Has a Spending Problem, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.